Hi there, I'm meteorologist Tim Kippen, based right here in Marquette, Michigan. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Up in the Sky Weather, where we talk about weather pertaining to Michigan's Upper Peninsula. I am a broadcast meteorologist, chief meteorologist for the ABC affiliate here in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, Marquette TV Market. Also, you can catch my weather forecast on the Radio Results Network stations across the Upper Peninsula of Michigan and on Catholic Radio 103.9 FM. If you're into the digital side of things, catch me on Facebook, and that is my UP Now and also myupnow.com. So, before we even get to Tom's take, this is when we're going to dive in to kind of the weather forecasting notes I kind of took throughout the day today and talk about, how that's going to affect the UP. Let's just talk about the cloudy skies we have seen today. This is just all clouds and definitely kind of kept me tired all day today, but that's the visible satellite. You can just see clouds all over the place here, along with some rain showers and some, let's call it, quote-unquote heavier rain showers if you want to call it, but they really haven't amounted to much. Pretty much everything has been light. And that's going to be the trend as we go through the rest of the evening and into the daytime hours on Friday. Expect light precipitation. So Tom's take, weather notes, anything that does develop lake effect wise off of Lake Superior will be light in nature Thursday night through Friday. Otherwise, the rest of the UP is dry, and in fact, South Central UP along the Michigan-Wisconsin border, you should remain dry with even sunshine on our Friday. And the above average temperatures you see here, that's going to be with us through the weekend and also as we head into the early part of next week, but we could have some colder changes on the way as we get towards Thanksgiving, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. But I want to talk the wind here. Yes, I know, wind, November, the UP, that kind of all goes hand in hand, and that's what we're going to get on Friday. It's going to be a west to northwest to perhaps a north to northwest wind, and we could see some wind gusts over 30, maybe over 35 miles per hour. Case in point here, Grand Marais around lunchtime, we could see some wind gusts around 35 miles per hour, and then look for those winds to kind of ease up Friday night. And then as a weak storm system comes through the UP and northern Ontario on Saturday, we are going to see the wind. Not much in the way of precipitation, but the wind may kick up a little bit once again on Saturday out of the south to southwest. As we go into Saturday afternoon, that could gust between 20 and 30 miles per hour. And then Saturday night on into Sunday, look for those winds again to flip to the west to northwest. And we could see some gustier winds, perhaps breezy conditions on Sunday morning with some wind gusts over 30 miles per hour, Keweenaw Peninsula, and also near Lake Superior. All right, National Blend of Models, here we go. You can see those above average temperatures through next Tuesday, definitely through Monday, upper 30s, 40s. This is in Negaunee Township at the National Weather Service, this National Blend of Models forecast point here. And you can see 38 as we get into Friday, 38 Saturday. And then we got mid to upper 40s even as we get into Sunday and Monday. Tuesday, we do start to see some rain, 43. And then as you see, temperatures trending downward towards the Thanksgiving Day holiday. And they stay cold, it looks like, for the Thanksgiving weekend with temperatures that will resemble winter. Keep in mind our normal daytime highs as we get to the last day of November is right around 31, and we start to see normal nighttime lows in the teens. So let's nerd out here. Let's check out what we got going on. And we'll start with the high resolution models here. And in fact, let me start with the HRRR model here. Let me go back and show you that here, and I want the latest run, so we'll do a late evening run. There's not going to be much in the way of time frame with it, but there's the rain right now that's moving on through as I'm recording the video. And then there is your lake effect precipitation that tries to get going. It's not really much to talk about. As we go back to the high resolution NAM here, this is the 18Z run. And you can see the rain moving on through here. That's out of here. And then it's just some lake effect precipitation that is expected to be light Thursday night through Friday. Here comes our next storm system. The bulk of the moisture looks to remain north in northern Ontario. But there's also a chance, as I flip it over to the precipitation mode here, we could see some rain showers, some light wintry precipitation move on through, but once again, as you see, the bulk of the precipitation is on the other side of Lake Superior. Now it's time for the long range. I'm sure you all want to see that. And as we look at the GFS model here through Friday, you can see we've got some light precipitation. Here comes our weak storm system Saturday. That moves through here without much fanfare. High pressure scoots to the south of us, and that's going to bring us dry weather conditions. Look what happens already Sunday night. In fact, I'll back this up here a little bit. Sunday afternoon, albeit light, we will start to see more of a southerly flow. That southerly wind starts to really take over and maybe even be picking up the pace here on Monday. But Tuesday, there's some rain. Here's the Minnesota Vikings 540 line, dark purple. It's in western Wisconsin. That will move on through here Tuesday night. Behind it, here comes winter weather with potentially some snow showers, lake effect snow showers, and also some potential wind as well. Those lines packed in close together. So could really start to feel like winter around here as we get into the middle to perhaps end of next week. And with Lake Superior wide open, colder temperatures coming in, that could get the lake effect going. Let's go into the first week of December. And the GFS has a pretty decent storm system developing across Kansas the first week in December. And that could bring us some wintry precipitation, including some snow or freezing rain December 2nd, December 3rd, before potentially flipping over to rain on December 3rd. And then December 4th, it looks like we'll get some colder air behind that. But 2 weeks out, we'll have to wait and see how that pans on out. On to the European model. Storm system Thursday, in and out. Here comes our storm system without much fanfare. Saturday, dry on Sunday, dry Monday to start the day. That's your southerly wind starting to kick on in. And then as we head into Tuesday, you can see we do have a developing and deepening area of low pressure on the European model that would be situated right north of Grand Marais, Whitefish Point on Wednesday afternoon. Central and western UP would be on the backside of it, and that would mean some wintry precipitation and snow and wind and perhaps some lake-enhanced precipitation. So the take-home message is, yes, the GFS is talking cold, the American model. The European model is also talking cold, but adds one more layer to this. I'm down here with the phone webcam. One more layer to this, and it could bring in some decent snow. So 7 days out, we'll have to wait and see. European model keeps the colder air going, but also as we get into December, while the GFS kind of had more wintry weather, the European model the first week in December kind of warms us up. So we're just going to have to wait and see once again how that all pans on out 2 weeks out. I like to show you this, but I like to show you all this with caution that there's not much forecast accuracy with anything beyond 7, 10 or more days, but it's fun to look at. I do like to take you down this road, but yesterday a lot of long range models was indicating deep cold air coming on in. Well, that's kind of flipping for the first week of December. Snowfall amounts here, not much to speak of through Monday. Here comes Tuesday and Wednesday. We're at Thanksgiving afternoon on Thursday night, Thanksgiving night. Still not much to talk about. Maybe some light lake effect in the west on Thanksgiving night. But as the lake effect gets going, we could see some appreciable accumulations next Friday and into next weekend. But overall, yeah, the lake effect belts do add on up, but in terms of like a good, decent snow event out of the GFS, it's just not there. And then as we look at the European model, now the European model also had snow along with the colds for next week. So the European model is really going to go nuts with these snow totals. So check this out here. We're at Wednesday morning. Here we go Wednesday afternoon into Thursday. You can see good numbers really adding on up on the European model. Measuring in feet potentially. We'll have to wait and see. But you can see these numbers really adding on up here across the UP as we get into next weekend with the European model. Remember, the GFS model didn't have anything. And then it looks like our winter snowpack, according to the European model, starts to get going here across northern Ontario. Keep in mind, the European model kind of had a warm-up the first week in December. So these totals may add up and then diminish a little bit. So wait and see once again. Once again, I'm meteorologist Tom Kippen, based here in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. This is my YouTube channel. This is where I kind of like to nerd out and talk to you about, hey, what did I see today? I keep looking at the webcam up here. I'm going to have to try to fix this webcam here. My OBS system, just for disclosure, is just automatically linking up to my iPhone. So I'm going to have to wait and see and figure out how I can fix that. But thank you for stopping by my YouTube channel. And I hope to see you again sometime soon on my YouTube channel. Go ahead and give it a like, give it a subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. No crazy forecast here. I'll show you what I'm looking at. I'll shoot straight with you. I'll see you next time.